Okay, so in this space here, we're going to use the pen tool to draw a path. So remember that when you click and drag, that creates your Bezier handles that you can drag, okay? So I'm going to click over here and drag, and I can use my Alt key to change the direction. And there I realize that I have not set it as a stroke. I did a fill. So I'm going to change that once I get my stroke done. Yours does not have to be exactly like mine. I am doing a double loop-de-loop. Okay. And if I select it, I can simply change the fill to the stroke color like that. And actually I can fill it out there too. Okay. So then what I want to do is this third tool on the list is the type on a path. And I am going to go ahead and start over here on the left side, and I'm just going to click, and you can see how it tells you it's on that path. Okay. Now, once I click, it goes ahead and puts some text there, which we know I want to change. So what I want to do is I'm going to put my full name, which is hard to do because I have the paragraph set at full justification and I can't even tell what I have. So, all right, so there, and I'm going to do my middle initial and then my last name. Then I'm going to hit spacebar 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to select everything with a Control A, Control C to copy, and then I just click at the end and I'm going to paste, and I'm going to continue to paste so that it follows along the path until I get pretty much to the end. Then I can select everything, and now I'm going to open my character panel again. I want to choose some sort of a script font. That means something that's kind of like hand writing-ish. So I think I'll choose the brush script medium. Looks okay. You may have to adjust your font size. Right now mine is set at 11 and it gets almost all the way over. Let me move this all the way over to the path. But if I go ahead and adjust my horizontal scale a little bit, I can bump that all the way over. So I just made mine like 104 so that it fits all the way through. Then I'm going to go ahead and change and make it a nice bright color. Okay, you don't have to make it the same color or the same fonts, but just something similar. Okay, so that is how you would type on a path. And you can make paths, they don't all have to be loop-de-loops. You can make it out of a square and follow it. You could actually have made it out of a star and followed the path along the outside as opposed to filling the inside. Okay? All right, so the next tool that we're going to use is going to be a vertical one. So these bottom ones here work the exact same way as the top 3. It's just that now they go down instead of across. So I'm going to use the vertical type tool, and I am going to change my font to Impact. So I'm going to start typing IMP, and there it is. And I am simply going to type right here, Lamar Consolidated Mustangs. Now, one thing that you should notice is because it's going down, number 1, you can't tell that there's a space there. So put 2 extra spaces between the words. Okay, so now there's 3 total. So now if I select all of this in here, I can increase the font size a little bit. I'm going to say probably 15. Looks like it'll fit pretty well. And just to make them a little bit thicker, I'm going to change my horizontal scale to 120. Okay, and let me kind of move that over right there. Okay, so that is vertical. And I'm going to go ahead and since our color is blue, I'm going to go ahead and change it to kind of a dark blue, just like that. Okay, so that's pretty easy. It works the exact same way. All right, next, I want you to type your name, your first name, Arial black. So I will get Arial. Notice the black, that changes it here. I'm going to go ahead and start off with it at 50 points. And I don't have to worry about the leading. And I'm going to change my horizontal scale back to just 100% so that I don't mess it up. Okay. I am going to type my name right here with this one right here. And I'm just going to type Kristen. And I'm going to go up to, after I get those fonts set in there, which I have now. Oh, actually, I need to get my horizontal scale so that it makes it fit this area. So I'm actually going to bump this up. Let's see if 150. I probably want to actually bump both of these up. See, 7. Well, no, I need, because it's going to, let me make it 60. And then, yeah, I'll leave it there. Okay, so you may have to play with yours a little bit to figure out how you have it, but I have my font at 60 and my horizontal scale at 150. So I have this selected now, and I'm going to go up to the Effect menu, and I'm going to choose Warp and Flag, and I get a pop-up. And of course, I want to check that preview window so I can see what it is I'm doing. I want you to notice that there is horizontal and vertical flag. However, if you put it on vertical, you can't even tell what it is. So we're going to keep it on horizontal. We can change the bend of it. So if you look here, the bend can change. So you can decide where it is that you want it to actually be. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move that up right about here at 65%. Then you have distortion, okay? And if you move your horizontal distortion, notice how it makes it smaller and then bigger. So I want the first part of my name to be big. So I'm going to make this like negative about 55. And then the vertical does kind of weird stuff to it, so I'm just keeping that at 0. And then I'm going to click OK and move on to the next one. Okay, so right here, I want to use that same text, and I'm going to go ahead and type the word beach, and I'm going to do it all lowercase letters. I'm going to change my font to Black Oak Standard, okay, because for what we're doing here, it needs to be a thick font, okay, as opposed to a narrow one. And let's see, the font size, I got about 55. My horizontal scale is at 100, but I'm going to bump up my vertical scale. I'm going to try 130. Actually, let me go ahead. I think I can do 150 safely. And I'm going to put that there. Okay, and I'm also going to open up my layers again so that you can see where things are going here. Okay, so now what I want to do, that I have that there, I want to go up to File menu, Place, and remember that in our OneDrive Illustrator folder, we copied the beach sunset. We are going to place that, okay? And I am going to click and kind of drag so that it fits, whoops, over the word beach, okay? And you may have to resize it, but remember to hold the Shift key down so you resize it in proportion. Now, you want to use your layers to put that image under the word beach so that you can adjust actually where that image is behind the text. Because what we are going to do is we are going to mask it so that the image, only part of the image that's visible is through that text. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. I got a little bit of the beach, the boat, and the sunset in the back. Now, I need to select both that text and that image. Okay, make sure you don't have anything else selected. And then we're going to go to the object menu, find clipping mask, and make. And there it is. Now, if you do not like where the image is, you can always, go back to that same menu, clipping mask. You have to have it selected in order to do it though. And hit release so that you can move it around again. Okay, so that will make that work for you. Okay. All right, now we need to go and type LCHS. And I'm going to move some stuff over here. I'm going to get this tool right here, just my regular horizontal type, and I'm going to type LCHS, all caps, just like that. I want impact as the font. Actually, first I want to go ahead and hit reset panel. Then I'm going to do impact. Sometimes it's easier to reset than it is to change a bunch of stuff. I'm going to make the font 100 point. There it is. And I'm going to do 150 vertical scale. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and move it over the heart, like so. Okay? Once I do that, what I want to do next is go, I need for the heart to be on top. So I need to right click on that heart and choose Arrange, Bring to Front. Now, if you look at the layers, you can now see that that heart is above that text. I select both, and I'm going to go back to that object menu, and I'm going to choose Envelop Distort. I'm going to choose Make with Top Object. And basically, it's going to make that text fit into that heart shape. Okay? All right, so in this bottom area, again, I'm going to do LCHS. I'm going to go ahead and keep the same settings as from last time. And here I'm going to go up and I'm going to choose Object, Envelop Distort, Make with Mesh. And notice that it allows you to determine how many rows and columns you have here. I'm going to keep it at 4, but what you do now is use the Direct Selection tool so that you can, click on the anchor points, which is going to allow you to alter how the text is seen. So you can go ahead and hit pause and alter yours. You don't need to make it exactly like mine. In fact, please don't make it exactly like mine. I'm going to hit pause also, and you can wind up with something like that. Finally, I'm going to type just my first letter of my first name right here. It is going to be 200, impact, and 100 for everything else. If I go to type, create outlines, it does the same thing similar to the warp in that I can change the way this font looks. Go ahead and change yours as you would like.